Bass fishermen are the largest group of anglers in the country. Millions of dollars in sponsorship and tournament winnings change hands each year. The weigh-in for the Bassmaster Classic takes up an entire stadium of fans waiting for their favorite angler to appear at the scales. However, in the Pacific Northwest, we are blessed to have access to several species of quality game fish through each season. Because of this, bass are a low priority for us. Yet, there exists a group of anglers who fight for top honors on the local bass tournament circuit. Dozens of these events occur throughout the Northwest with money and pride on the line. My tournament partner Chris Parks and I decided to show how bass tournament anglers build a pattern during their pre-fish day, apply that knowledge, and adjust during the tourney to come out on top.
Forecast showers and thunderstorms today with strong southwesterly winds to 37 miles per hour.
It's a numbers game, especially for the situation that we're in. We're coming off of a high water event here 48 hours ago.
The outdoors is not a hobby. It's not our passion. It is our way of life. We make the perfect cast, slow our breathing to execute a perfect shot, spend hours researching locations and techniques. Regardless of effort, we fail. This series is not about incredible bites or trophy animals. Our goal here at Day One Outdoors is to educate our viewers utilizing new technology to offer a different perspective. Watch as we research new areas, plan out the day, and adjust to changing conditions. If not for other experienced outdoorsmen teaching me along the way, I wouldn't have this life. I owe it to them to pass this knowledge along. I owe it to you. Join us here on Day One Outdoors, and let's learn how to become more successful in the field and on the water from day one.
Chris and I have just pulled up into our first lake arm today, and today is not about catching fish. This is a pre-fish day. So what we're trying to do is eliminate water. And to do that, we need to cover a lot of it. So what we're doing now is Chris is heavy on the trolling motor. We're gonna go around this entire inlet, around the bank, and we're looking for bedfish. It's the end of April right now. We're on a new moon. New fish should be pushing up along the shoreline, and we're looking for good quality fish. Chris, we think this is gonna take at least 20 pounds to place in the top 5. And we need to find a good grade of fish. So again, today is not about catching, it's about eliminating water and getting weight points on fish that we think are gonna help us win this tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, it does us no good today to go out and catch some 4 or 5 pound fish that we can see, or even out in front of the boat, really. We need to be very careful. We need to manage the lake today and not come away with a lot of fish today. We need to come away with knowledge. We wanna see what arms of the lake have bedfish, water color, where our better fish are. So it's, we're gonna burn up the trolling motor today. We're gonna look at a lot of lake, and if we come away with it and do it right, we're gonna have a lot of waypoints saved in our electronics. They're gonna show us where these better fish are, so we can come back tomorrow and put them in the boat.
So we got a gap right here in between these 2 trees. I'm gonna take a picture of it and show the hole that he's in. Okay, got it. Pull up that picture. And waypoint number is 814, so I'm gonna make a note on it here.
Just found a nice fish on a bed that was willing to go, stayed in the same spot and kept casting it. It took about 5 minutes to get it to bite. We found the sweet spot on the bed, and here's the end result. Go ahead and get that hook out of that fish. Nice, pretty coast fish.
Chris and I have eliminated this bank as one that's really not going to help us win the tournament. It's all, 1 to 3 pound fish at best. So we're going to go ahead and move on, but first we're going to show you guys how we're going to be targeting these fish during the tournament when we find that higher grade, that 4+ pounder. So what we're looking for right now are beds where these fish have spawned, and these are mostly males right here along this bank. And what we're looking for is a little white spot in the dirt, and that's going to help us dictate exactly where these fish are sitting. When we know that the fish is actually going to bite is when we get this close to them and they don't move. We call it the fish being locked on. And when we come up on these beds, we're going to throw these white lures, not because the fish are keying in on white, but because it allows us to see what the bait is doing down there in the bed. So we cast into the bed, keep it right there in the zone. The fish is going to try and protect the bed, bounce the lure a couple times, and they'll usually turn on it, snap, and eat really quick. And what they're trying to do is not necessarily eat the bait, but just pick it up and move it out of the way. Again, they're protecting their bed. See a male right up here? Fortunately for this tournament, for us, they allowed us to fish the day before the tournament. And we saw a lot of things that have changed just in the last week or two since you were down here. And we've already adjusted our game plan a little bit from what we expected coming into this morning. And it seems like we didn't see as many fish on beds that we thought. And we're thinking that we might have to change things up and start throwing bigger baits to find that big bite, because we still think it's going to take at least 18, 20 pounds to make this thing go. What are your thoughts after today?
Today was interesting. We saw a good group of fish up. There were a lot of fish up spawning. A lot of them weren't the grade we're looking for. A lot of them are smaller fish. So I feel that the bigger ones have moved out deep. We've got some small buckfish up on the bank. We've got a couple better ones located. We've got a waypoint on those, the GPS location. That we'll visit tomorrow. I think we're gonna have to pull out and fish a little deeper to catch these better fish. So we're gonna probably spend a good 2/3 of our day targeting those fish that have already either spawned or have come or are waiting to move up. So post and pre-spawn fish in the staging areas, going down pounding the bank. Yeah, we can catch a lot of fish doing that. I think we established that today, but just don't know if that's the right type of fish to put this thing away.
Salmon swim up to 3,000 miles to return to their exact place of birth to reproduce. Well, most of the time.
Every once in a while, a new lure comes along that catches every angler's attention. It could be because of all the irresistible colors and finishes, or the patented skip beat action, or maybe it's the wide variety of sizes designed for salmon, trout, walleye, steelhead, mackinaw, and more. But just for the record, we know one thing for certain. We didn't design the maglip to catch fishermen. Yakima Bait Company.
At Pavati Boats, we demand perfection. Our engineers turn to aerospace technologies and materials to design and build the lightest, most stable, best rowing drift boats ever developed. For us, versatility is essential, and with over 16 patents and counting, including our trademark drifter doors, quick lock seat systems, and the industry's only true level floors, the Pavati revolution has begun. Experience it now at PavatiMarine.com.
Our plan was in place, and the day of the tournament was upon us. 27 teams arrived to compete for top honors. Now, time for blastoff, and time for us to perform.
Where are they at? First fish of the day. It's not going to be enough for us to win this tournament, but first one's out of the way. Just got our first fish into the boat here now, and again, it's not going to be one that's going to help us win this tournament, but it's nice to knock the dust off. After every fish in a tournament, I always make sure to check my leader. If you get that one big bite, that kicker fish that could put a lot of money in your pocket, you don't want to have a nick in your line. I'm running 20-pound fluorocarbon leader right now, and that's really going to help, especially this Maxima stuff. It is really strong to pull them out of this heavy cover. Better. Still not the one we're looking for. We'll take it. Just 2 more. Yep. Doubled up, but get coming in hot. Yeah, they're definitely pre-spawn, nice and fat. It's the fish we want, just we want their dad. And the mom, definitely the mom, the big old fat female. So quality fish, definitely pre-spawn. They're fatter, they're gonna carry more weight with them. Just too small. Decent, yep. Ah, jeez. Yeah. It's our 5th fish, but man, these are just not the bites we need. Oh, dude, I thought it was gonna be bigger. Okay, we'll take it. It's a cold fish. Nice. Pattern's consistent, man. Jigs on hard cover. Good fish. Good fish. Good fish. Not huge, but we'll take it. Stay down, stay down. A scoop and score, buddy. There's a 3.5. Boat's right there. Oh, I just made a cast out there right off the willow, got bit, missed it, and had to rebait. Put the cast exactly where I just missed a bite. It's another nice goldfish. Weight's starting to pile up. Scoop and score.
Nice.
Another coal.
Good job.
3.5.
Yeah.
Tag fish? Oh, wow.
Five in the well early is always nice, but our weight is way under what Chris and I agreed it would take to place in the top 3. We need to find better quality fish, and fast.
Every once in a while, a new lure comes along that catches every angler's attention. It could be because of all the irresistible colors and finishes, or the patented skip beat action. Or maybe it's the wide variety of sizes designed for salmon, trout, walleye, steelhead, mackinaw, and more. But just for the record, we know one thing for certain. We didn't design the maglip to catch fishermen. Yakima Bait Company.
Day One Outdoors is your full-service guide to the Pacific Northwest and beyond. Join us on the water targeting salmon, bass, steelhead, and more. For those with adventure in mind, Day One Outdoors offers hosted trips to the South Pacific. Join Cody and Samoa this winter chasing massive blue marlin and other pelagics in this tropical paradise, all for less than fishing in Alaska. Contact us via our website to book your next adventure today.
Salmon swim up to 3,000 miles to return to their exact place of birth to reproduce. Well, most of the time.
Chris and I traveled to the complete opposite end of the lake in hopes of finding bigger bass. We needed a kicker fish soon to give us a chance at even placing in the top 10.
Yep, I want it. You want him. Stay down. Oh yeah, come on, baby. Around here? Right? Right here. Oh, dude.
Boys,
There's big fish right there.
there's a 6+. Look at that fish, dude.
Look at the belly. Look at the cheek.
Holy cow.
Had a kid. That's the one. What is it?
6'11".
Oh, 6'11". Well, stop your rod. That's a good one. Yep, it's a good fish. It came back. Stay down. Yeah, it's got some weight to it. All right, buddy, here you go. Ready? Don't let him jump out. I think we're on a pattern. Dude. That one's not coming off either. Yeah. That one's 5+ right there. Whew. That's another kicker. Dude, we're well on our way to 20. We just had a great morning so far, and we're just now starting to work on the fruits of our labor from yesterday, finding a bunch of bedfish, and Chris is already on one right now. We came up on waypoint 817, and I pulled it up on my phone, and right there is waypoint 817 with this bush and that arrow pointing right on this fish. So taking copious notes the day before is extremely helpful. I'm ready with the net. Yep. Oh. Dude, so we had her hooked up and she just came off, and you know, she's been stung, so she's probably gonna pull off, but there's a chance she might come back to her bed. So we're gonna kind of just pull back, wait it out, and pray that that fish comes back. That's a nice solid 4-pounder. Got her to eat though, that's the most important thing, and quick too. All right, finish what you started. Yeah, oh yeah. Yep, you did.
Nice job.
Dude.
Good
That fish took half an hour and we hooked her 3 times. But man, I'll tell you what, Chris fished that absolutely perfectly. Just kept on putting that big swim bait in the bed to get her fired up. You know, it's not nearly our biggest fish. That's our 3rd biggest, which is a really important fish. That's gonna put us easily at 20 pounds today.
Keep going. Yes, it was fun. All right.
Nicely done. We're coming up on waypoint 819 right now. Same thing here with this one. We're able to look at exactly the background. It's going to be right off this weed patch here off the grass with the trestle in behind it, the walkway going down to the dock. She's still right there. Yep. Oh yeah. Hook just came out too. Yeah, I think it is. That's 4.
Yeah, look at the head.
Look at that, dude. Nicely done, man. That fish took us a while. We were probably on that fish for at least 20 minutes, but we finally got her charged up. Chris kept putting that swim bait on her. Then we hit her in the tail a couple times, pushed her up on the bed. And when they get there, they get really protective. Nice cool fish. Way to go, Parks. So Chris just caught this fish off its bed, and this is our smallest one in our bag right now. This one here is 212, that one's 312. It's a full pound upgrade, and going from 20 to 21 pounds could be the difference between 5th place and 2nd place in a lot of cases.
Winning the thing.
Yeah, so that's a great coal.
Nice.
Hopefully they keep getting bigger, man. Back in the water, this one goes. There you go. Come on, buddy. Chris and I already have a great pattern going on. We're fishing hard cover with jigs, but what we're gonna do now is we got about 20 pounds in the boat, which is fantastic. By this time of the day, we're feeling pretty confident, but knowing what we know with some of the other anglers out here, we need to get at least another 3-4 pounds. And the way to do that is to cull some of our smaller fish out. And what we're gonna do right now is start casting on big docks and brow lines on these brow logs out here with a big swim bait. And this is gonna be really tedious fishing for the rest of the day. We got about still another 4 or 5 hours before it's time to go weigh in. And we're gonna be throwing these pretty much the rest of the day. And the reason why is because all we need is 3 more big bites. We got 2 big fish in the boat. If we get 3 more bites on this type of bait, we know it's gonna be a quality fish, and we can upgrade our fish and maybe get a couple extra pounds in the box and get up around that 23, 24 pound mark. So this is all we're gonna be doing here for the next at least 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, redemption. Not as big as the one that I missed, but hey, I think it's gonna cull, add a little bit more weight to us.
Our time was running short, and we had a good bag. Chris and I decided to head back to nearby spots that kicked out quality fish earlier in the day to try different techniques in hopes of increasing our weight by even a few ounces.
We just came upon this wind-blown shoreline here, and anytime you get good wind hitting a hard bank, it's always a great time to throw a spinnerbait. And on my first cast, this Hildebrandt spinnerbait just got crushed. And we're running both a gold and silver blade on this with a white body, blue trailer. That way it's good contrast. Same is true with the blades there with the gold and silver with a little bit murky water and high sun. So We already got a bunch bigger. Back in it goes. Gorgeous fish.
With a good sack and time just about up, we took no risks and headed back to the dock to weigh up.
$22.92.
We had done it. First place. What an incredible day. Our goal in this episode was to show how tournament anglers pre-fish and plan for a competition, then execute and adjust throughout the day. We expected bedfish and swim baits to be our key to success, but we quickly altered our pattern when we discovered new structure holding better fish. Chris and I had hoped to place in the top 10 for this episode. We were surrounded by great anglers from around the state and still managed to pull out a win. I couldn't ask for a better way to encourage new bass anglers to get involved with local clubs and start competing. For more information or to book a guided trip with us here at Day One Outdoors, visit day1outdoors.com or d10.tv.